Hey guys, what's cracking? Godsman here. Welcome back to the next installment in the custom card series. This season so far has been pretty good. I can see some nicely developed cards that were coming in. Some customs were a little bit over the edge, of course. A lot of them, honestly, but still more even tempered. It seems like the community has started to guide itself into more normalcy when it comes to the guidelines of these things. But maybe I'm just looking too much into it. We just happen to have a pretty good pick of the litter this time around. With me, of course, is my co-host for the custom card season, as it were, and that's cool. How we doing?
Woohoo! Woohoo! Oh god.
Alright, let's get right into it. So, Flutterblade, he's gonna be our Forerunner for the day, and we begin with, haha, Forerunner. I get it, jokes. I'm very funny, guys, believe me. So, this appears to be a ride line. This is Grade 0 Luminescence Illusion Bunny. Dark State's typical starting Vanguard Overdress Warby. Thank you. Finally, someone just says it. This is it's just starter in Overdress, so we know what it is. Road went second.
What does it do? What is it? Is it a Forerunner? Like you said, Forerunner, so I assume it's a Forerunner. No, does it like rest itself so that you can discard and draw?
It lets you play a card, but lets you draw 2 cards. Okay, so Grade 1 Rookie Illusionist Ainzo, race human. When this unit is placed by riding from Luminescence Illusion Bunny, okay, so you need this Grade 0. Cool. Search your deck for up to 1 illusion order, add to your hand and shuffle your deck. Alright, cool. You get an order card that's typical for Grade 1s or ride lines, and this one is a when placed on riding rather than when rode upon, so that's really good. It's preferable in case you're trying to run one of orders, so you can get them right away without the fear of damage checking them. Grade 2, Great Trickster Illusionist Margot, 10k power. When this unit is placed by riding from Rookie Illusionist, okay, so we're keeping with that theme, you may put 1 card from your hand or drop zone into the soul. Then, if you have an illusion order in your soul, draw 1 card. AKA, take the card that you added from the Grade 1, put it in, and then draw. So you're cycling through your +1 in a way, and it seems like you're setting up soul. These, just by name alone, sounds like Pale Moon. Now, Grade 3 is Illusionist of the Ruby Ace Nirog. Kind of interesting name, although the Illusionist theme, I guess it's supposed to be like Robert or whatever. If that's like the original Illusionist Vanguard, I think. I don't know. I'm a bit foggy on it. The guy who played him in the anime was such a one-note dude. So continuous, your order zone becomes your illusion zone. Interesting. And what, pray tell, is an illusion zone? You may put up to 1 card, you may put up to 1 face down order from your, I'm going to just assume illusion zone or something.
Yep.
Into your soul, and place up to 1 illusion normal order from your hand into the illusion zone face down.
What?
So what I'm guessing is this continuous skill just lets it become the illusion zone, and this reminder text explains that one of the fundamental functions of the illusion zone is that you can put whatever is a face down card in the illusion zone into the order zone and then replace it with something else. That's interesting. So I don't really know the implication of that, but I'm starting to get loner roll feelings from it because they had a similar premise with like songs. When this unit attacks or is attacked, I always like the sound of or is attacked in Vanguard. Turn a card from your illusion zone face up and activate its effects. Okay, so this is definitely like Laura then. We're singing songs, homie. Continuous. If your soul has 3 illusion normal orders, this unit gets 5k, drive +1 crit. Oh, it's MLB. Oh, it's MLB. And you can build it. Alright. Note, placing an illusion card in the illusion zone or activating an order card from the illusion zone does not count towards the 1 order per... Oh!
Yeah.
So activating and placing in the illusion zone. So this second thing I think kind of goes without saying, but placing a card into the illusion zone doesn't count, so you can keep on playing them. That's trippy. That's a really easy way to potentially get these going, because I guess the reason why is that the only way to get them in your soul normally is through like ride line and also what Nirog does, but that isn't... That seems kind of easy to get MLB online. So it seems like they have some rear guards and other supporting cards. But Nap, let's talk a little bit about our impressions on the ride line itself right now. Before we look at the presumably the order cards that come with it, what are your initial impressions?
So the 1 and 2, fine. It's all right. I don't mind them. The 3 though feels a bit confused. You know what I mean?
You got that
like
sense too?
says,
Yeah.
Yeah. You may put up to 1 face down order from the soul, from your illusion zone into the soul, and place up to 1 illusion or molder from your hand into the illusion zone face down. All right. Cool. The second skill is it turns them face up and activates effect. Right.
Right.
So then it just becomes useless.
I'm going to assume that they have skills from the illusion zone to flip themselves face down. That's my thought. So it's almost like it's like counterblasting, but in its own sort of inverse way. Where like countercharging something turns it offline in a weird way, but also kind of re-ups it to be used again. So maybe it is kind of counterblasting in its own esoteric sense. So that's just my guess. I don't know for sure, but because I haven't even read these yet.
But then in that case, right, like that, the auto doesn't have a once per turn for one thing. But like if it is as you say, then the con skill should be saying to put a face up into your soul and then put 1 from hand face down. Because I feel like this thing kind of fights itself in a way. When like and even in situations where it doesn't necessarily fight itself, it kind of just is not balanced all that properly.
Yeah, I was getting weird impressions from that too. You know what? Let's read what kind of orders comes with this ride line, because they may or may not clarify the whole point of flipping something up in the illusion zone. So, okay, let's go down. Grade 3, Rage Blinding Miasma. Whoa, I don't think that sounds very tonally appropriate to the ride line, but hey, you go, boy. That sounds epic. So normal order, illusion, cool. You may choose a illusion normal order from your drop or soul and add it to the hand. Huh, interesting.
Okay.
Put it from the soul to the hand as well, but I guess the drop is the more prevalent part of that. Then, if this card was activated during your opponent's battle phase and one of your units is attacked, put this card in your soul, give one of your opponent's attacking rear guards 5k power and choose one of your opponent's rear guards. The attacking unit must attack the chosen unit. Oh, hey, it's like a dominate during the opponent's battle phase. It's kind of cool. So, activated during your opponent's battle phase is interesting. So, because you can, I guess you turn it up and activate it. So, when you turn them, when they're face down, they're basically inactive. So, the act of flipping them up is what triggers them. So, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense in its own way.
Yeah, I don't know about this one. I like the I like the idea, right? It's not something that we see yet in the D series, but it also doesn't really have a cost to it.
Right, because this effect doesn't have a cost. Maybe if this effect CB'd every time it did it, that'd be a little bit more balanced. But I guess it just kind of comes in an interpretation. Still, though, let's look at the other ones. But that is pretty goddamn neat in concept. I haven't really seen a card like that. Certainly, Standard hasn't really seen stuff like that yet. So what's up?
I am a little iffy that yeah, please choose one of your. Yeah, I am kind of iffy about rear guards attacking each other. I feel like it should redirect it to your rear guard at least, so that there are consequences somewhat.
That might be better. In the original Vanguard series, during the Break Right era, we had something like that for the Glendios support, where it would, I forget the name of it, maybe it was Rubidium that did this, but when you would guard it, it would redirect an attack from Glendios over to a reverse unit on the rear guard circle, which kind of sucks because you do like reverse units and all that, but it still felt fair. You're using up a card from hand to guard with it. and you're still presumably losing another card, but it is an effective way of guarding. I mean, it was really effective because I used that against Deep Police, and it made the Die Kaiser stuff totally useless. But
oh yeah, it was Rubidium.
Rubidium, okay, cool. So I'm glad I at least remember Glendio's Starvaders fairly well. So the grade 2 is Cup Plate Switcheroo. That's a nice. You see, this feels more appropriate for what's presumably Pale Moon. Draw one card. What?
I mean, Rage Blinding Miasma, you know, he's probably not mad. You know, it's just a delusion.
Oh, I don't know. I just think this sounds like Dark Regular. But, okay, so draw one card. Then this card was activated during your battle phase. Put this card into your soul. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's rear guards. Put one of them into your opponent's soul and move one into an open rear circle.
Huh?
Ah! Another fascinating concept. I feel like don't give it the draw one, or if you gave it the draw one, make this other part an or, and then we're kind of fine with that. That's kind of cool because you could essentially bypass interceptors this way. Sure, it's a neg one on them, and that's cool, so don't make it a draw one unless you decide not to use that other effect. But if I were to go into the assumption of it being either or, right, and like think of it that way, that's pretty badass, dude. That's amazing.
Huh.
It's cool as hell.
Again, same problem for me. Same problem with the Grade 3 order. This is a neat idea. It's not really balanced. It doesn't have a cause. It's what do you call it? So I like moving the opponent's regard into soul, but is the move really necessary? Like I'm okay with the draw. I'm okay with the draw. Like like the one thing that I would want to fix about this is give it a cost for one thing. But then keep the draw and the removal. I wouldn't mind the move into an open regard circle is kind of unnecessary.
I think it's cool though because it's basically a way to get around like for instance, one of the things that would be kind of cool if you were able to target them would be like to move obscudates. I like that idea. Also other troublesome interceptors, like if you were to look at from the premium implications, right, then there's that one Narukami interceptor that's really annoying. It just there is kind of neat stuff. The fact that it attempts to be different in a flavor that is consistent with Pale Moon, it gets a lot of points with me. You might think it's unnecessary, but I mean, I think I understand the attempt there. But I get your perspective too, where it's like you're just kind of adding text. So the grade one.
I don't mind your idea though. Like I like not having the draw, but to control aspect. That sounds lovely to me.
So the grade 1 is Bizarre Illusionist Inigo, 8k power. During your turn, this unit gets 5k power if you have an illusion order on your soul. Okay. Now, when placed, costs Counterblast 1. Oh wow, this deck does CB. Who would have thought? Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 illusion card, add it to your hand, or put in your soul and shuffle your deck. If you don't, draw 1 card. May only use. Oh, and then it's a hard once per turn. Okay. We know okay. know you hate hard once per turns. Yada yada. I get it.
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say, the plus 5k is unnecessary. Like most cards that searches don't give themselves power because that's a V series thing. That's very much a V series thing.
Wait, I never knew Schneisel was a V series card. God help us all.
Well,
he does indeed give himself 5k and CBs to add a card.
But he also doesn't say, oh, if you don't add anything, you get to draw, or you know, the power isn't a con for one thing. It's tied to the when play skill.
But also Schneisel has an additional win attacks go to power up the Vanguard on top of the other power buff that you can give it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good card.
Yeah, so I feel like this is
what I'm trying to say is,
you know?
What I'm trying to say is that you either keep the 5k or you keep the if you don't do anything, draw 1, because those two things don't belong together in one effect.
I gotta disagree. I think this deck suffers from a power issue. Like, its rear guards feel very meaningless, and that doesn't seem like it needs to be that case. Considering it's only 5k and it isn't stacking, it's just a blanket 13, that's nothing to really get too concerned about. I think that's perfectly fine. Because you know,
draw though, like if we take a look at the festival collection example, the cards that do say, oh, if you don't reveal anything, you draw one, they -1 from hand. They put a card from hand to soul first. Usually, if it's CBs like this, it just says, oh, if you don't reveal anything, you counter charge 1. But I don't know. This is a weird card.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine though. You know, I would be willing to bet that at the end of the day, considering that the thing that it's searching for is very specific, is one of the things that help it out, right? It helps keep it reined in. Now, top 7 is a pretty large search, I will say. If you were to reduce the search parameter, maybe that would make it quote-unquote balanced, but to me, this seems fine.
If it didn't draw, I would have just said, oh, you know, you can just get rid of that hard 1 per 10 text. You know, it doesn't matter.
I mean, you could have also alternatively said, if you added a card to your hand, put 1 card from hand to soul. That way, it just ends up being a break even if you wanted to take it that way. But I mean,
I'll take it that way.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, I guess
I'm fine with that.
Although, when you're in the audience, I feel like this is already perfect.
Whoa. Incorrect opinion.
Incorrect opinion is not that in of itself is a logical fallacy. Okay.
I know. That was the point.
Yeah, is this where we go r/whoosh? Okay, so
and this is the point where I say, how dare you hard 1 per turn that shit. That shit don't exist.
Bruh. Okay, now we get here. I knew it was gonna happen sometime. So Wonderful Illusionist Prana. Wow, Prana, but not. Power 10k. When put to Guardian Circle, Soul Blast 1, this unit gets 5k shield for every different name, well, I would assume differently named, or Illusion Orb different name, in your soul. So that's what they mean by different. Okay, well that's cool. Considering there's only 2 Illusion Orders available to this deck in the first place, that means that Soul Blast 1 to be a potential 15. That is fairly powerful, but for a Soul Blast, that's totally up to par. I mean, you look at something like Argandia in the Chronojet Stride collection or whatever, you know, it's up to par with that. Audon Rear Circle. When this unit attacks, perform all the following based on the number of illusion orders in your soul. 1 or more. You may place an illusion order from your drop or soul into the illusion zone. 2 or more. Your Vanguard in this unit gets 5k power. Okay, and this is when it attacks for reference. 3 or more. If your opponent has a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, Guardians lose 10k shield for this card's attack. Wow, we really did a V-Series Rebellion. That's crazy. Whoa.
Nah, this ain't it.
Whoa.
This ain't it, bro. I don't think so. Not on my fucking watch. What the hell is this?
It's crazy, bro. Man. Yeah, okay,
that
look.
Ain't right.
This effect doesn't deserve to be here. This is too much. Why 10k? Seriously, why 10k shield? I mean, if Chrono Tiger Rebellion, a grade 4 V-Series cards, ultimate ability, which makes you CBX, as in CB everything, or 5k shield minus, why does this just do 10k shield minus? No, I understand, that's like for a turn, a whole turn, but still, this is pretty wacky. I mean, imagine, for instance, that you gave it like a huge power up. It's like, what are you gonna do about it? So yeah, this effect is really overtuned. But the other 2 effects I kind of dig, although I will admit putting Illusion Order this easily into the Illusion Zone is a little bit disconcerting for me. Maybe add a cost for that. If you did add an appropriate cost, and the 1 or more and 2 or more feels pretty appropriate. But yeah, this got to get scrapped. Anything else you gotta say, man? Oh, yeah.
This ain't it, bro. Ooh. This is a cardinal sin.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad, I will admit. Yeah, everything up to this point was so good. And literally just, it wasn't even the whole card here. So this last little bit was a pretty big whoopsie. But, I mean...
This ain't it.
Yeah, that was the really
this
big
ain't
thing. Still though, honestly, this is pretty cool. I will admit. I think overall this is pretty cool. We've looked at it all, and I like it.
I liked it as well. So honestly, overall, it's just the same as it has the same problems that we've been addressing so far. Good concept, execution but specifically, what about the execution that's not that good? There's no cost to any of this.
Right, it's too costless for the value that you're getting here, and which to me, I don't think is even the most terrible execution. It feels like just more of a minor oopsie in retrospect, like compared to a lot of what we've seen, and that's not to Dougie a lot of people. It's just that with like a lot of the premium cards and other sort of interactions here, it seems pretty apparent. Oh well, there's some very big oversights. There isn't that much in the way of play balance oversight here because it feels very low power with a lot of like gimmicky stuff to it, but it does feel too free for a D series card at this point, or D series right line, I should say. It's exactly as Nap said. Overall, this is probably one of the best customs we've seen in this particular season because it's got so much flavor, and yet for all of this creative flavor, it still doesn't feel that unanchored, which is crazy to me. It's been a while since I've seen something like that, you know?
Good flavor, but the bread is stale and non-existent.
Yeah, but like, well, I wouldn't even say it's stale and non-existent. I would just say that the bread needs to be toasted a little bit more. It's a little undercooked. And my brioche bun needs to be medium heat.
Well, at least we understood each other on that.
Yeah, you see, this time around we're agreeing just fine. Somewhat. So yeah, Flare Blade, I really like this. Probably when we do these custom card battles, I'm probably going to be playing this Nabs. I want to give this one a whirl. That's pretty
I don't even know if I want to play any of this, bro. I just feel dirty.
Ouch. Vengeful King, Heavenfall, Youthberk Masque. Ah, okay.
Nah, what
another
is this?
Okay.
Nah, what is this? What is this? Nah.
Okay, so 2 skills. Auto Van. When this card is ridden over by Youthberk's Skyfall Arms.
For some reason.
What? Look at this, look up to the top 5 cards of the deck and call 2 cards. This feels like a little bit of a weird sentence. That clause is off. If you did not call, this unit gains 10k and drive +1 for free.
What the hell?
For free.
Oh yeah, by the way, I think that's a grammatical mistake on the first one, because when it says when this card is ridden over by Youthberk Skyfall Arms, it means that Youthberk Skyfall Arms is riding on top of it.
Right. Like that's what it reads as, is you're like riding back into base, but I mean, this is a Masque card. Why are you doing that? Okay, so I get where in cases like with Drawjul, you know, you don't have the CB for it, so you do that, but that's not part of like the design, really. You know, we don't have effects that explicitly incentivize you to devolve. Now, okay, cost. After the battle it attacked, well, just cost, I guess. It attacked this comment. Man, this dude's got grammatical errors like strewn all about. Counterblast 1. Remove a Youthberk Skyfall Arms from the soul, hand, or drop. Help out from the Vanguard circle, because you seem to insist on writing it. Move a card with Revolform. Why is there only... Why here? You missed the other half, buddy.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even notice that. I was only focused on the fact that it says move and not place. Or ride.
What the hell? From your hand or drop into the soul. Stand this unit. This unit gains the abilities of that unit and drive -2.
Oh, I misread. Okay, got it. I understand now.
Okay, so the one thing though that's weird about that is this doesn't sing enough, because a lot of the Revolform abilities are when placed on Van Circle. So why?
I think if it says activate those cards effect, then sure, why not?
You see, that's the thing. It says gains the abilities, but who wants to gain the ability of an on place when you don't do the on place, right? So it would probably need to say like this unit and activate all that unit. I don't know. I'm not even going to bother the clause, but I think we have an understanding of what I'm talking about, right?
I am.
So,
but like even then, Sequana doesn't trigger, your Enucleate doesn't trigger, your Cetaphoo doesn't trigger. Nothing fucking triggers.
Nothing triggers here.
Schneisel doesn't trigger. Wait, actually, Schneisel can trigger.
Schneisel is a win attack, so it's fine.
No, well, actually, Schneisel can trigger because of Persona, right? But yeah, what is this?
Yeah, that
Yeah, it sounds like a trigger.
so you axe out a lot of synergy. I'm really glad you mentioned that, because yeah, it's just when you put it all out on the table the way Nabs puts it, it starts to become a pretty hefty list. It kind of reminds me of the list of Desire Devils that don't work with Greed on Masque. So Auto and Van, this first part, right? This is really free. Why don't you just get to either +2 or get 10k in drive, just cuz. And the thing the thing that's kind of funny about that too is, so if you're triple driving with that and then you're just going to the Revolform, it's like, well, okay, that's fine. That's one thing. Why are you bothering giving Youthberk Skyfall arms these benefits when clearly you have the idea to make the Masque version just a freestanding Vanguard? Why? It makes no sense. I don't get the idea. I mean, hey, at least this guy remembered a counterblast, but like, but also, oh, here's another cardinal sin, right? And this is something we brought up, I think in the last video or the video before we were talking about your Flagbird cards, right? The persona remove effect, right, should not be a part of the main ability. It should be part of a setup ability, right? That's the sort of the ethos we're going with. Yeah. This is for your big play. What? This has a lot of problems. I'm usually nice cop, but no, this one's pretty. This one's not that good.
It's okay, Josh. Breathe. Alternatively, the first effect.
Yeah.
That does feel like a removal effect. Like if you make it an act and not free as fuck, we can come up with a compromise.
It might be fine, right? You know, calling off like top 5 or something for like a persona remove effect, that feels pretty appropriate, more or less. It's a good setup card.
The thing that irks me though is what he said at the bottom there.
It rewards players for being skillful because it requires many cards from hand plus discard and setup. Wait, what are you discarding?
What is this?
What are you discarding?
What are you discarding?
I don't
What are you discarding?
I
what are you even
don't
setting
see
up?
the word discard at all.
What are you even setting up for? What are you being setting up for? Nothing activates.
So weird. He's like, wow, wow, many cards from hand, as in discard a Revolform from Rideline to suck it into soul. Wow, crazy.
This doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. This does not compute.
Okay, so Hedgehog bro, okay, trying to clean up, make sense of it myself. Some suggestions to get past.
Right.
Oh, hey, I think we've got a secret version here. Oh look, it's proper grammar. Okay, so Auto and VC. When this unit is written over by Youthberk Skyfall Arms, reveal 5
That's not proper. That's not proper because it still means that Youthberk Skyfall Arms is still riding on top of it.
And I think that what he's trying to do is make sense of it, is saying that he thinks the same things, like this is the idea, which is really unfortunate. That's the idea, but I mean, hey, he's just trying to reinterpret. So this isn't even like a new card. He's just trying to freshen up. If you did not call, this unit gets 10,000 power, drive +1, and then okay. So Revolform, it's just the same thing. This unit gains that unit's abilities. Oh, so he also didn't catch the whole they're on play, so you should be activating on play skills. But yeah, so he has some ideas though. I would have altered the cost of second ability to something removing a Youthberk with a Revolve-Dress ability from Soul in addition to CB. Want to run this trial deck, Youthberk can. That's fair. Sure. Why limit it to Skyfall Arms specifically, right? When you have the trial deck, Youthberk. I mean,
you did mention something like that. Like the other day when we were talking about a possible Youthberk Max, you didn't mention something about that.
What was up?
About how instead of removing a Youthberk, it removes a card with the Revolform ability.
Yeah, because I think with like the costs. I also because Revolform ability being. Oh right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because the Revolform ability part is pretty important because you can just use Revolforms if not for that. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, this guy made a very astute observation there. Also, when this unit rides on a unit with Youthberk, the Revolform ability, because as it stands now, all you really get is maybe a call to the end of your turn, then 10,000 plus trial never come up. I really do like the second ability. It isn't once per turn though, with how much Youthberk can search out Revolforms so they can actually play your Revolforms. Oh yeah, that's right.
It's not once per turn.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you can keep on CBing Persona, removing. Well, yeah, no, that's kind of busted.
What is this?
Yeah, no, I don't like that.
Josh, I think we just stepped on a landmine, Josh. I think
bad.
we're now just mangled corpses commentating.
It's weird. Why? I do really like the second ability as once per turn. I'm like, look, don't get me wrong. You made a really astute observation up here, but
what is
this
that?
isn't correct. I mean, just why can you keep doing that? That's crazy,
he
bro.
did. He actually noticed not getting the full value out of your Revolforms.
Yeah, okay, so he did note that as well. Yeah, you see, like, he understands, like, a lot of the flaws, but I guess he doesn't really consider them. Is the reason why he's thinking that is that he's considering that this cost here to be hefty enough that you wouldn't be able to sustain it very much? Because I don't know, man. I still think that's kind of wacky in its own way. But I guess with the drive being -2, but if you just put triggers on and you keep doing it, I don't know. That's yeah, I think it's kind of sus. I don't know if I really like that very much. So okay, this kind of flops. We've already brought up a lot of the issues with it. There's not really much else to say, but hey, it was a nice effort, I guess. Okay, F saying that name. Cross-ride for Fortuna. I don't know about naming purely for V format. Ooh, now this is interesting. Ateta Yoru.
It's Ateta Yoru. Ateta Yoru.
Ateta Yoru.
It's like you're almost there. For Fortuna. Oh damn. Okay, I'm gonna let Josh take the wheel. I know this bitch is his waifu at some point.
God, dude, Fortuna really was one of my first loves when it came to like Vanguard, just because, dude, when I wanted to play her so bad in Zero, and trying to play her helped me to get good at the game. Okay, so act in hand. Reveal this card during your opponent's battle phase, and if they are grade 3 or higher. For the rest of the turn, while it's revealed, when your Vanguard would get a power increase from triggers, choose one of the following. Rest a rearguard with power over 30,000. Ooh.
What?
Draw a card, and one opponent's rearguard gets -5k unless they counterblast one. Huh.
What?
Okay. At the end of their turn. What's up?
With this card. Oh, sorry. Opponent's battle phase. Holy shit! I completely misunderstood that.
Opponent's battle phase. So that's an interesting defensive card, which makes sense because Fortuna had defensive abilities in the V version. At the end of their turn, write this card as West. You do not get a force marker during this ride if you rode from a grade 2. Oh, okay. This skill can only be activated once by a unit with the same name. That's another good balancing aspect. And then it has a Vanguard skill, apparently. Okay, this is a bit to digest. Vanguard act costs Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast any number of cards. Look at the top card of your deck, you'll mount Soul Blasted and exchange their positions. If a card with Fortuna in its name is in your soul, you may... Okay, so in other words, you need to keep the Fortuna in the soul in order to even do this. So that's cool. You may add one of the cards to the hand among them. If the card's Soul Blasted, that's cool. If the card's Soul Blasted, that feels very Genesis. If the card's Soul Blasted with 6 or more, choose a card from their hand being to the opponent, I guess, to discard or swap it with the top of their deck.
I think it meant your. Yeah, I think it makes more sense if it's your hand here.
Oh, okay. Choose a card from your hand to discard or swap it with the top of your deck. If it was 9 or more, look at their hand and reveal the top card of their... Yeah, so I think there does mean the opponent then.
Okay.
Look at their hand.
Man, what the fuck?
Okay, so it kept going. It kept going, bro.
we were this close. I was on board, right? I was like, oh man, this is so cool. And then it kept going. Like, stop it. You just hesitate.
Hesitate. In the Common Rider designs, when they look so cool and then they keep adding more crap on top of it. Like, they took a complete product and kept going.
The best part is you haven't even seen the worst of it yet.
Oh man, and I think I might be thankful for that because I still have a good opinion of Common Rider. We'll see if that changes. So okay, let's break this down. Okay, so I guess we'll see the description and then talk about breaking this down, right? I tried to make this fair and not unfan hand rippy Jamio Congo stuff, which I guess makes sense because you only rip one. This is probably going second for the deck. I would say it's on brand with the original. Traded of the soul charge for each unit on attack to make it a turn 4 card. You need the OG to set up. Normal ride will still apply for this card's first skill. Okay. That's fair because you don't soul charge back with it.
It is on brand somewhat, but yeah, like you know, like we said, you kept going where you should have stopped. You
know what?
You were too busy. You were too busy contemplating of what you could do that you didn't you didn't take time to see if it was what you should do.
You know what? Here's what he could have done. He could have removed this entire thing and added in a clause, right? Where you could then additionally you could additionally play like additional costs, like maybe another counter blast or soul blasting or Fortuna, I don't know. Or you could make it to where he scaled enough soul blast, like let's say he soul blasted 9 or more, right? Like not 6 more, but 9 or more, like he got a whole 9. This effect is just one thing and one thing only, which is look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Your opponent does not get to see these cards, and rearrange them in any order you desire and place them back on top of the deck.
What the fuck?
Manipulate the top of the opponent's deck. That's kind of interesting and antagonistic.
You somehow managed to make it worse.
No, that's fine. You know, because that's
not fine.
Because you're like, because basically, here's the idea, right? Fortuna is supposed to change your fortune. So with a cross-ride Fortuna, you kind of get the ability to grant misfortune to the opponent. Kind of cool, just saying. And it's only 3, right? It's not like you're looking at top 10 of their deck and get to play Demiurge on them or something. No.
You said top 3. Okay. Oh my god.
I said top 3.
I thought you said top 3. Okay. Okay, Josh. I can breathe. You said top 3. I thought you said the same amount that you sold blast.
What? Oh my god, no, that would be busted, dude.
You scared the crap out of me. You know
I can hear Ryuzu's theme playing in the background all over again. Someone please play Keter around.
You scared the crap out of me, Josh.
So, what do you think if it was just 3, right? Manipulating the top 3.
I still think there should be somewhat more of a cost to that.
Right, like maybe you can pay an additional counterblast or something, or if the amount you soul blasted was 6 or more, you then remove a Fortuna from the soul. I don't know, something like that.
Actually, I think a discard might be fair. Just one discard.
Oh, so discard a card instead. I guess that makes sense, especially since you're having like the defensive aspect here from it. Which, by the way, I have no complaints about this. I think this is really cool. I like the idea of Genesis having wonky defensive cards. Like that one thing that is essentially hetero round for Genesis was a really good addition, and this is another example. It also feels very interactive because of this second clause there. But yeah, so like regardless of the cost, I think a discard's also fine. That works well enough. So like discarding a card if you soul blasted 6 or more, and yeah, you manipulate the top 3 of their deck. Of course they don't know what you do, but like they don't get to see the cards, but you get to see the cards. That I mean, ooh, I don't know. That's got so much flavor to it, and it doesn't feel that terrible.
I'm willing to make it free if it's a limit break condition.
A limit break condition.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think discard on top of a limit break condition might actually be more.
Oh god, why you keep adding more costs, bro?
I don't know. It's such a cool effect, right? I feel like like you're granting misfortune to the opponent, right?
Right.
There has to be somewhat of a consequences, but you take that consequences into account and you manipulate their fortune so bad they don't want to look at you in the eyes anymore.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool if you got rid of the original Fortuna from Soul, like remove it from play or bind it or whatever. Because you need like a Fortuna in the Soul in order to make this other effect work. So you're kind of risking forsaking your own future to ruin their future.
Although this is a cross right though, I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't seem on brand for it, right? So that's the thing that makes me hesitate. Which is you could go from it.
Sure.
Still, there's a lot of this is so beautiful. I just think with the last bit, if you consolidated to like kind of what I suggested, or maybe even some other way of doing it, it would have been perfect. But still, as a stance, this is pretty goddamn spicy. I like it. I think you did like. I think this person did a really good, earnest attempt at a cross ride for Fortuna. It'd be cool to see a name for it, because now I'm like actually interested. Like I feel more invested in the card. But I don't blame you, right? Names aren't for everyone. It's kind of hard to come up with them on the spot. That's just how it is. Any last impressions, Nabs and Boy?
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna quickly correct myself. Yeah. Your suggestion plus with a limited break condition, I think would be appropriate. But yeah, that's about it.
That's fair. All right. So let's move on. Next order 95. This is someone that we're familiar with.
No. I read that first line. I ain't gonna like this, am I?
I shared an opponent milling ride line in support I posted some time ago, but didn't get much response.
I think there's a reason for that.
Oh, okay. This must have been like some custom thing he posted off season, so we didn't like review it or anything. Okay. So Death Dragon Mortis. Why is this the name of like opponent milling strategy? Why is it not annoying mutant bug snapper or something? I don't know. Just bug poker. The poker. Just something to annoy the opponent, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Okay, so Otto, when a card is put to the bottom of your opponent's deck from drop zone due to your card's ability. Oh, okay, that's already a mouthful. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards with the same name as that card. Same name, okay, and retire it. If a card was not retired, choose up to one of your rear guards and return it to your hand. Okay, that's
somewhat
kind of flavorful. It's not once returned though. That's a little bit scary.
When a card is put to the bottom of your opponent's deck from drop zone. What? I thought this was a mill deck.
I guess we're getting to that. Okay, so act what's returned. I'm just going to assume, by the way, that these are Vanguard Circle stuff. Act what's returned. Counterblast 1. If the number of cards in your opponent's deck is 15 or more, go. Okay. Put cards from the top cards of your opponent's deck equal to your opponent's Vanguard grade into their drop zone. Oh no, Gryphogila. No.
oh no. I was like, yo, that's a really cool, balancing. And then you said Gryphogila. I was like, oh shit.
I found a superior dumb WinCon to the dumb WinCon deck.
Bruh, fuck that.
That's hilarious. So if we ignore Gryphogila, it's like, hey, we'll punish grade 4 is a little bit extra hard, because everyone loves to do that. If you put at the end of your turn, choose 2 grade 1 or higher normal units from your opponent's drop zone and put them to the bottom of their deck in any order. Activate all the following abilities based on the number of cards in your opponent's drop zone. Okay, 6 or more. Choose 3 units, and they get 5,000 power until end of turn. If you're trippy out. Okay. If you're, and keep in mind, by the way, this part of it activates after you did the milling, not the end of turn thing. Okay. So choose 3 units, get 5,000 power and end of turn. So this is during your main phase that they get this. If your opponent has 4 or more triggered units in their drop zone, this unit gets drive +1 until end of turn. For counterblast, on the edge, but okay. That's okay. That's not too bad. 10 or more. When this unit attacks, choose one of your columns and stand all rear guards in that column. If your opponent has 6 or more triggered units in their drop zone, until end of turn, all of your opponent's non-sentinel guardians lose their abilities until the end of turn and not gain them. Okay, this shouldn't have been free. Yeah, that needed more.
Bro,
Yeah.
this isn't Death Dragon Mortis, alright? This is Death Mutant Mortis Regis, alright?
This is Deadly Mutant Mortis Alacidus. So I wonder, right? Looking at this, there's a lot of cool concepts here, and that's really neat.
Yeah.
But
you went a bit too hard.
It's these effects that kind of throw it off because it's too easy and free for what it is, right? I think that there need to be more stipulations behind it because I don't know whether you name blocked it, you gave more cost. It's just that it's like, oh, as long as they're 10 or more, you just get to stand them up, and it's like, oh, well, you know, you're putting 2 cards back afterwards, right? You know, so they're always going to maintain that whole thing. Buckaroo, you're milling cards every turn for them.
I think it's fine if like everything after that column, like highlight that column, like the part after that.
Yeah, this.
See, just erased it. Just erase it. And we're good.
Yeah,
right?
that's kind of cutting the fat there. Like, don't get me wrong, it is kind of neat to like negate guarding abilities that are like non-sentinel, but not only does that feel very unnecessary and wordy, but like I feel like this is already good enough. Why do you want to expand on something that's already freer Viamon's Bruce?
Also, at a Soul Blast coster.
Soul Blast cost?
Like,
that would be fine.
Counter Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1. Yeah.
Oh, you know what would be kind of interesting just to really keep in theme is that you get the option to do this for free, but if you do, at the end of your turn, you bot deck them.
You bot deck them? Oh!
That'd be trippy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, like, you have to kind of bear sort of the weight of what you're doing to the opponent onto yourself with your rear guards. Because you're also getting rid of their rear guards at some point down the road. So, that's cool because you're also... returning your rear guards to hand, so in this case bot decking is actually a consequence to, but it still feels in theme. That would probably be a good way of doing it without having to just resort to the simple soul or counterblast cost.
I like how this card is like, oh, you know, I'm gonna return back the cards I mailed, don't worry. And then the first effect is like, you're full, you're full.
Man, I can't wait to activate this when the opponent's deck is exactly 15 cards. Because you nefariously counted how things are gonna go.
God.
That's great.
The fact that grade 4 deck, you only be able to do this to grade 4 decks once is kind of funny. And grade 4 Gila only suffers from this like once, and that's it.
But oh my god, is that a mill? I mean, that would be so crazy to pull off on him. I think even Stoichea Gryphogila just would not like this at all. That'd be hilarious. Okay, so I guess we've got a ride line going on here. Death Sight Dragon Mortis. So I guess Mortis is just the homie for the entire ride line. When placed on VC, you counterblast 1. Look at the top cards of your deck equal to the number of cards in your opponent's drop zone. What? Call 2 cards from among them to rear circle. What?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Well, hold on a second.
What the fuck?
At the end of your turn, put one of the call cards to the hand and the rest on the...
Hey, yo, what the fuck? Nah, what is this? That is a triple R support card. What is this? What is this? This ain't even triple R. This is a VR rarity. Nah, sorry. This is SVR rarity, bro.
Dude,
what is this?
So crazy. So, not only do you get to clear your field after setting up presumably either 2 front row or a column, you get to clear it, but you keep one of the cards as being a selective plus from the top 5.
Nah, what is this?
That's
what
whack.
Is this?
That's too much.
That is a triple R support card. What is this, Buka? Like, on crib, what is this?
That's wild. Okay. Auto, when placed on rear, counterblast 1, better not be the same effect. If your opponent has more than 13 cards in their deck, put the top card of your opponent's deck into the drop zone. If your opponent has 6 or more cards in their drop zone, draw a card. If your opponent has 4 or more trigger units in their drop zone, choose one of your opponent's rear guards to retire it.
Nah, what is this? This is a double R support card. This is a triple R support card. What is this? What is this?
You know what's something I just realized in premium? This would basically be arrested for hate crimes against Pinot Noir.
What the fuck?
I just realized, like, if they have triggers in their drops of Pinot Noir, just sweats profusely.
Honestly, what is this? What is this?
It does a lot,
bro.
Man.
This is a crime, all right? This is a hate crime against every fucking deck in the format, all right? You listen to me. What is this?
You know what?
Answer me.
Here's how you do this effect instead. When placed on rear counterblast, if you have 13 more cards in their deck, yeah, put the cop card of your opponent's deck to the drop zone. If the card revealed is a normal unit, draw 1 card. If it is a trigger unit, then choose up to one of their rear guards and retire it. One or the other.
That's pretty good. Alright. Actually, I would prefer it if it retires and gain power as well. I think that's fair.
Yeah, that's also kind of fair. But again, you only get one or the other, and it's based on random chance off of what you mill.
Yeah. Yes, Gunning Colio, best boy.
It is Gunning Colio, and you want to know something? Gunning Colio is a well-designed and cool card.
He's so badass. I love him. He's like my favorite.
Gunning Colio is so sick. I wish he had more support. He really deserved more.
He only got like 1 card, which is Dova Speed.
So sad. Reaper of Souls, Mortis. I'm reminded that
Mortis nuts.
Mortis. Oh, got him. When placed on rear circle, so are you not the
What's the Vec
card?
What's the Vec?
That's weird. Choose up to 2 normal units from your opponent's drop zone and put them on the bottom of your deck. If 2 or more cards were put, this unit gets 5,000 power in a turn. Now, keep in mind, that is a potential 2 retires.
Oh. What is this? Why?
This probably needed a once per turn. This needed a once per turn.
Like Gandiva did.
Yeah. You shouldn't be able to keep on doing that. This is not Vowing Sword.
What is this? A Blake size Draco Kid. What does it do?
Okay. Oh, hey, yeah. He didn't bother with either, I feel. Okay, the end is near. Yeah, truly. This is getting kind of out of hand now. Grade 3 normal order Dragon Empire. Play this with Soul Blast 2. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in your if you're in your opponent's drop zone, it should say in their drop zone, just to not be redundant, but whatever. It's a, well, actually grammatical error. Look at the top cards of your deck equal to the number of trigger units in your opponent's drop zone. Call up to 2 cards from among them to rear circle. No, call 1. If your opponent does not have Mortis, if your Vanguard does not have Mortis in its card name, at the end of your turn, put the called units on the bottom of your deck in any order. I don't. This is not that well designed, but it feels like the concept is there, but I don't know how to balance it. Like, it does have kind of a neat concept of calling. But here's the thing. I do like the bot decking. I feel like, you know, if he's willing to bot deck 2 cards, he should have been willing to do it over here, right? I think that just further solidifies justifying what I was saying earlier about how to balance that aspect. But now you go down here, and let's be real. Soul Blast 2 is not a hefty, is not like that hefty of a cost in a Dragon Empire deck, right?
They have Togachi Shirashi, which puts itself into Soul every time you discard it.
You know, you can also do pretty wacky stuff like Orlando, I think his name is, right? That's the one that goes into Soul and call itself out or whatever. Yeah, you could totally do that with the retires and stuff here as well.
What is this? How do you even activate this? Oh, it's normal later. What is this?
So yeah, because if your opponent has 10 or more cards in the drop zone, so you have to wait for a bit. You look equal to the number of triggered units, which could be a few, because especially if you're putting on pressure, what do people guard with most often or not? Trigger units. So you can bet there's going to be a few of them. Calling 2 is excessive. It's excessive unless you commit to putting them on the bottom of the deck, because that means that you get a good power boost right there. You get to set up your field a lot quicker for Soul Blast 2, but then afterwards you've essentially hit a -1 because your order didn't leave lasting field presence. But even then, there is technically a cheaty way of getting around that. Because if you happen to bot deck from drop something they don't have on the field, you choose one of your rears and return to the hand, thus circumventing the issue with the order. Well, I say issue, but the balancing rather. So
I don't. Why is it even a generic in the first place? Like you could have just said, "Oh, bot deck." You call it bot deck, but if you have Mortis, you can call up to 2 instead of up to 1.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, this is a bit too powerful for what it is, which is unfortunate because I think the concept is there, but considering the fundamentals of the deck, it's so easily abusable and feels too free. Especially for Dragon Empire. Okay, so Shadow Spear Dragon. These really are just Shadow Paladins in disguise. It's crazy to me. Okay, Restless Unit.
Also,
what's up?
I have to say real quick, Shadow Dragon. I don't know why it's a Shadow Dragon. I don't think those exist anymore, right? Because they were overtaken by Abyss Dragons as a race.
Not only that, but why are they in Dragon Empire?
Well, I mean, Nubatama.
In Overdress?
Oh, obviously not in Overdress, but Nubatama are all mostly Abyss Dragons.
Well, yeah, I know in like the original they are, right? Because, you know, you just look at them, of course they are. But I was talking more in the context of like Overdress Dragon Empire. I should have clarified because that's the one nation that just kept its name, like the chatty mass it is. So anyway, let's get back. What's up?
Now with 60% less racism.
Supposedly. Your mileage may vary. Act Restless Unit. If your opponent has 15 or more cards in their deck, put the top card of your opponent's deck in the drop zone. If a normal unit was put, choose one of your units and gets 5,000 power. At the end of your turn, choose a grade 1 or higher normal unit from your opponent's drop zone and put it on the bottom of the deck. See, this feels a bit more tamed, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I understand about the auto ability that can abuse this, but if the auto ability was a once per turn, then this would still feel pretty cool, right? Like, again, this person is able to acknowledge putting normal unit or putting trigger unit. What do you get, right? You could have had this sort of interesting roulette type thing where instead of it based on how many triggers they have in drop, like an antagonistic Pinot Noir type thing, right? You know, again, hate crimes. What if it was more the gun and color strategy of every time you do the milling, okay, is it a trigger, is it a normal? Like, that's kind of neat, but I guess it would add some level of confusion to the deck strategy. But I mean, this strategy is so cool though, and there's some good concepts.
I like this, but what is that end text? That last sentence there.
Choose a grade 1 or higher normal unit from your opponent's drop zone and put it on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's like,
what is this?
Yeah, you get
why?
I don't think. Yeah.
Why are you trying to make a second Gandiva? What is this?
Yeah, again, that's the problem, right? Is it all stems to this not being a once per turn. You can keep on either being Shoujo Doji or being Gandiva, and it's so unabashed. It's kind of crazy how it goes. Or, oh, I say Gandiva. I guess you could also say Bowing Sword, considering the name thing. But, man, whatever. Take your pick. Black Spike Dragon, grade 2. I guess we're just not going to see the grade 1 for the ride line. Act once per turn. Coward Blast 1. If your opponent has 8 or more cards in their drop zone, because I really hope it doesn't mean 8 exactly, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. Okay. If your opponent has 6 or more trigger units in their drop zone, this unit gets 10,000 power until end of turn. You know, actually, I mean, that's kind of a massive power boost, but that doesn't seem that bad.
I'm only wondering, why is this an act? Shouldn't this be on place?
Right. It shouldn't be able to do that every turn, right? Not without like some sort of more weird stipulation, because I'm just going to assume yeah or more. Once you achieve it, which seems fairly easy, it's going to keep on being achieved. That doesn't deserve to be an act at that point. Like for instance, I think something, and don't get me wrong, this is a ridiculous card, but the last time I saw a card that could actually be removed was Clean Sweep Dragon, and that thing had a Persona Ride stipulation to it, which is definitely more demanding. Yeah, it shouldn't have been an act, but that aside, it's actually not that terrible card design, even if there is a hiccup here. That one probably gets a pass for me. Okay. Shadow Eater Dragon. Auto. When placed on rear, if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their drop zone, you countercharge 1 for free. Really? If the number of trigger units in your opponent's drop zone is 7 or more, countercharge. Oh.
Nah, get the fuck out. There's the door right there. Get the fuck out, please. There's the door right there.
Oh my god, if only Draw Jewel could play this. Why is it generic? Why is it generic?
The door's right there. The door's right there. Get out. The door is right there. I guess it's generic because, you know, this probably isn't going to trigger most of the time. Actually, no, never mind. I take it back. I take it back. The first one says 8 or more cards. I thought it said 8 or more normal units. Nah, get the fuck out. The door is right there. The door is right there.
Free. Oh, God.
To be fair, Fushimachi Madoka is kind of easy to play. I don't know why.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is busted. This is too much. No cost, double CC. Like, what? The double counter charge is kind of a dead concept for the most part, matey. I mean, it's been gone for a while. I haven't seen a double counter charge in a long time. And for good reason too.
The last one I remember was Cosmic Hero Grand Volver from G series, and even that needed to hit. That needed to fucking hit.
That needed to hit, right? Like that's pretty. That's pretty wild when you think about it. There's also Jellyfish Soldier from way back when, and that's soul blasted too. At a cost.
What is this? What is this?
What's the name of the guy who did this? Next Order. Okay. Wild Hedgehog. Oh, hey, they have a whole conversation going on here. Oh my God. Hey, this is a conversation.
And you guys can read that in during the link below. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they've got some stuff here. I'm not going to go over for the sake of like time and the video, but yeah, look, overall your concept is so badass, and you have like certain bits of really good card design like right here. But here's the thing, and I think this is the thing. If we look aside from the once per turn thing and assume the once per turn, you have really good ways of balancing cards in terms of stipulations, but not in payoff. Your payoffs are too wacky for what you're paying for them. You're overestimating the setup it takes here, and that's what gets me about this. But it could have been there. It definitely could have been there if the payoff wasn't too much, for if it didn't move beyond its station, right? Because this sounds like sort of a more melee control deck, but you're doing too much potential plussing and power and getting drives and just a boatload, and also even a column restand. You're doing too much advantage and aggro for something that's supposed to be a control deck in nature.
Yeah,
you're trying to get your cake and eat it too, and that's a bit over the board, but it is fascinating.
It's like they're trying to make a second Gandiva. Like, bro, a lot of people will tell you that's a bad idea. No.
Yeah, Gandiva was too much. Let us tell you. Considering the deck profile and stuff, but we don't even need to say it. Of course, everyone knows it. Oh, interesting. This grade 2 is a 9K base. Funny. Anyway.
Oh, now it's balanced. Oh, no, now it's balanced.
Yeah,
amazing.
Mega Destruction, Ball of Darkness and Destruction. Blitz Order, Auto. The current game ends in a double loss. Amazing,
man.
Run 4 of it.
What an amazing card to end on.
He's like, get me out of here. Wait, hold on a second. How much is this one?
It's long. It's very long.
Oh yeah,
we'll get back.
Yeah, we'll get to that next time then. Thank you, United Sides. Very cool. We'll get to you next time. But okay.
Sweet Tuger.
We went over some pretty okay stuff today. Honestly, I think my favorite is probably gonna end up going to the God, this had so much potential, man. But I think my favorite is probably gonna end up going to the Illusionist stuff that we started off with today. What about you?
I'll play devil's advocate here and pick your Fortuna card.
The Fortuna card? Yeah. Oh, God. You know what? No, it is the Fortuna card. Damn it. Yeah, it is. It's got to be the Fortuna card. It's just too neat. It's too neat, right? Like, the other one is cool and original and has some ideas, but like it falls flat in some other aspects. But now the Fortuna card, if you just change it a little bit, it would have been the perfect card. It would have gotten me like, it would have gotten to be just like ready for it, you know? God. So it's good. And how you know, if you edit that last bit, I might actually play it. I'm not gonna lie, I really want to play it. Do something about it if you see this video, please do. But anyway, that aside, that's gonna do it for today. Hope you like the cards that we saw. It seemed like some pretty interesting ride lines going on here. It's just seeming to get better and better, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll have to see. Lots of fun here, though. Now, if you did like this video, guess what? It's a part of a series. I know, shocker. And it's the third part specifically. So go ahead and check out the previous iterations that we did over the past few days, and you can see in the playlist that'll be linked to this video. Furthermore, you can also check out a lot of my other content I do on my channel. Fight nights, tier lists, top 10s, discussions, whole shebang. And if you like what you see, consider leaving a like and a subscribe. And turn on the notification bell for the next time that I upload a video. And with that, take care. God bless.
See you next time.